So modules in Python is nothing but a file which contains some code, and obviously in that code you will find certain variables and number of functions. So any program that we save in the form of a file, that automatically considered as a module. Now what module can define, like it can have functions, it can have some classes, variables and some other objects. So once we define a module, so we can use it in multiple programs. So the basic characteristics is, first of all, it is a reusable code, because once you define a module, I can use it in any number of time, any other programs. Similarly, in namespace, once I start defining a module, I can give a particular name, and which will help me to identify what kind of classes or variables or functions are available, so that accordingly I can start using that name. And next time when I create another module, I will not be having any conflict, because if already one module is available, I will not be able to create a same module with the same name. So in general, we save a Python file with an extension .py. Okay, let's see this example. Let's say the file name is codequest.py. So this file indicates that this is a Python file, and any Python file that I'm creating is by default considered to be a module. So in this particular module, we can observe here we have taken a variable num, and there are two functions. This is function 1, this is another function. So this has one variable and two functions. Now, whenever I want to use these members like this variable or these to any of these functions in other program, so I have to import this module, because now the module name is your code quest. So this module I need to import in a separate program where I want to make use of either of these particular members, maybe the variable, maybe this add function, or maybe the sub function. And for that, what we do, we write something like import statement followed by module. So here, because code quest happens to be the module name, so I'll be writing import followed by module name. So once I have done it, once we have imported this module, now we can access these members of the module by writing the name of the module followed by a dot and then the member. So the member could be a variable or it could be a function. So let us see how can I make use of this, or I can import this module into other program to access this particular members which are part of this code quest module. So here we have taken one more file, settest.py, and my purpose of creating this file is I want to utilize all the members that were part of the code quest module. So as a result of which, because I need the members of code quest to be used in my program like test.py, so the very first thing I'm supposed to do is I have to import that module. So I'm taking the help of this import keyword followed by this is the module name. So once I have written this module, now logically I can say all the members of this module are available into our program. But in order to access those members, my syntax says I should start with the name of the module followed by a dot and then the member. So here codequest.num, this is nothing but trying to access the value of the variable num which has been defined within the module codequest. Very similarly, I am trying to invoke the two functions which are actually part of this module. So while I call this add function with two values 10, 20, again I am taking the help of a dot and preceded with the name of the module. So this line is going to invoke the add function by passing two parameters, that is 10 and 20. And similarly, this line is going to invoke the sub function by passing two parameters. So as a result of which, I am going to get the value of num printed, which is nothing but 101. And this add function was printing the sum is 10 plus 20, that is 30. And this sub function was executing its code where it is printing like the difference is 70 minus 20, that is 50. So here we have defined one file with the name like codequest.py. So where we have defined one variable num101 and there are two functions. Now we have defined one more file here. So where we are trying to import this file, that is nothing but the module here. And then we are trying to access the value of num, which has to print 101. And we are making a call to these functions, that is add and sub, like codequest.add of 10, 20 and sub of 10, 50, 70 and 50. So when I run this program, so I will be getting the result like 101, the num value, and the sum is 30 and the difference is 20. So sometime we may not require all the members present in a module to be utilized. So in that case, what we can do, we can take the help of this syntax like from module name import, and then I can mention which members I want to import into that particular program. So the main advantage of doing this is what? So earlier case we have seen whenever we are trying to access the member, maybe a variable or a function, I'm trying to add the name of the module followed by a dot. Then I write the member name. But once we start directly importing the specific members of a module, I need not use the module name every time. So let us see an example. So if I'm using the same code quest module that I have prepared, so I'm writing here from code quest, there is a module name and import is a keyword. And here I'm writing say num comma add, which means this code quest we have seen already has three members. One is a variable num, there is a function called add, and there is one more function that is called sub. But what I did here, I'm only trying to import two members. Though it has three members, I'm only importing two members. So now when I'm trying to print the value of num, as you can see, I'm not using any module name and dot because of this syntax. So directly I'm able to access the member, so which is going to print here 101. Similarly, the add function also I'm able to call directly with a value like 10, 20, so which is going to print that is this sum is 30. But if you go on calling this sub function, then I'm going to get an error saying that this function is not defined. The reason is we have very specifically imported only two members. We have not imported this member at all. So if I want this member also to be imported, so what can I do here? We can add some sub here. So we can write some sub here so that this will be working as it's supposed to work. So when we want to import all the members of a module, without, specifying the module name and dot every time while referring to them. So we can take the same syntax like from module name import. This time, rather than mentioning a specific member of the module, I can write asterisk. So this asterisk indicates that we are trying to import all the members present in the particular module. So let's say here again we are taking the same module that we have prepared earlier, code quest. We are writing import asterisk. So now this asterisk indicates that we have taken all the three members which are present in this code quest. So now you can see I am trying to print the value of num. I am calling the add function with two values. I am calling the sub function with two values. So as a result, I'll be getting the same output 101. The sum is 30, the difference is 50. So in the earlier case, when I'm not using asterisk and I'm very specifically mentioning the member names, I could see the sub was not working because I have only imported these two members earlier. But the usage of asterisk, all members are available into my program. So if we look into this code now, so we have written from the module name, that is code quest, import num comma add. So we have three members, but I'm only trying to import only two members. So this print num is fine. So now because I'm importing add also, I can write add of 10, 20. But this call is going to give an error. So these two are going to work fine. I could get 101 the value and this 10 plus 20, 30. But this will raise an error because I have not imported that member. So when I just run this program, so you can see this 101 has come, the sum is 30 also came, but here it is saying that this sub is not defined, right? Now, in order to access all the members, like we can replace this, we can just write your asterisk. So now this asterisk is going to bring all the members present in this particular module. So as a result of which, all these three lines, I mean printing num value, the add and your sub, everything is going to work fine. So let's check this now. So now I should be getting all these three perfect. So there are multiple ways how we can import a module. So let us see one by one. Now this is the first one, like import followed by module name. So when I do this, I am trying to import only a single module, and every time I am trying to access the members of this module, I have to write module name dot that member name. Now secondly, if you have multiple modules to be imported at once, that is also possible. Only thing you are supposed to do is you write import followed by module 1, module 2, module 3. You can write any number of modules separated by a comma. Now, if you want to rename a module with particular name, so let's say here module 1 is the original one, which I want to rename as M. So once I do this at the beginning, so later on, all the members of this module 1, whenever I try to access, I have to use this module name. That is, the new name is what? M dot the member name. This is nothing but called your module aliasing, or you're just trying to give a separate name to a particular module. Now, when you are going for multiple modules imported, so each of the module also you can give an alias name. Like here you can see module 1 has been given an alias name M1, module 2 as M2, and we are just writing module 3 as it is. So in this case, whenever I want to access the members of module 1, I will take the help of M1 because that is the alias name for this. Similarly, each time I want to access the members of module 2, I will be taking the help of M2 because that is the alias name for this. But module 3, as I have not given any alias, so I have to write only module 3 dot followed by any of the members. Now, if you want a specific member of a module, like we've already seen this, so from module name, import that particular member. So a module may have multiple members, but you want only a particular member to be used in a particular program. So then you can write down that member name along with this import. Now you want more than one member of a particular module to be imported. So the syntax is from module name import. You can make a list of all those members by separating with the help of a comma. Okay. Now suppose you want to import a member, but the member you want to write in a separate aliasing. Like suppose we have taken a module. So from this module, we are importing this member 1, which is actually defined as member 1 in the module. But that member 1 I want to refer as X. Suppose here the member 1 is, let's say, the add function. So that add function I want to refer as sum here. So what can I write here? From, say, the module name is code quest, import add as sum. So once I do that, wherever I want to use that function, that is member 1, that is add function, I can take the help of this X, or in our case, this is sum. Now, when you want to import all the members of a module, so very simple, we can use from the module name import your asterisk. So this asterisk is going to bring all the members that are present in a particular module.